In Bereshis Memches Pasuk Aleph, Yosef is informed that his father is sick. Yomer Yosef ine avicha choyle. Yosef gets up, he takes his sons to do Bikur Cholim. Vayikach shnei banav imo es Menashe de Ephraim. Is it right to go visit the person who is sick, whom you can't stand? Well, he hates you. Is it the right thing to do when he sits Shiva? To go visit him? You know that he hates you. Is it okay? Is it recommended? Is it allowed? Is it also? The person that hates you is a mourner. He is sick. How do we look at this? Shulchan Aruch Yoredeh, Siman Shin Lamed Hey Seif Beis, the Rema writes, some say that a soine, one who hates you, or you hate him, can go to visit the sick person, and he brings this from the Maharil in Siman Kuf Tzad Zayin. But he says, the Rema himself says, V'lo nireli, I don't think so. Rather, lo yevaker choyle, should not go to visit the sick. V'lo yenachem ha'avel shu sono, and don't go console the person who's sitting Shiva that he hates you or you hate him. Because if you do, shelo yachshov shesameach leido, because he's going to think, oh, he's coming here because he's happy that I'm sitting Shiva. He's happy that I'm sick. It causes him more sorrow. Ken nireli, that's what I think, says the Rema. Similarly, there is a proof to what he says from the words of the Shulchan Aruch a little later. Yoredeh Siman Shin Sam Beis Seif Vav. Regarding burial, the Shulchan Aruch says two people who hated each other, you should not bury them together. And the source is Rabbeinu Yerucham, in the name of Sefer Hasidim, because even after their death, En lahem menucha yachad, they're not at rest when they're together. So if that's the case, even after their death, En lahem menucha, how much more so, Kal v'chomer, that when they're alive, they don't have any menucha, and therefore one should not visit the one who hates him. But the Beis Hillel, there, Sifkot and Beis, he writes that there is no proof from this. Because after their death, so you see that they never made up between them when they were alive. So obviously there's no menucha when they're not here anymore. But as long as they're still here, if the person goes to visit his friend, it's not really his friend at this point, but he goes to visit him when he is sick. He goes to sit Shiva, to visit him when he's sitting Shiva. The person who hates him will say, wow, even though this is our relationship, he comes, wow. And because of that, they're going to become friends. They're going to make peace. Meila says the Beis Hillel, and this is the minhag, this is what we do now, that the soine does go to visit the sick. He does go to console the person who's sitting Shiva, and because of that, it causes peace among them. They become friends again. The Yad Ephraim writes a very interesting fact, and he writes, I know a fact, I heard it from a trustworthy individual, that he went to the cemetery in the city of Altona, and he saw that Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz is buried right next to Vayechi. Vayechi and Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz were not best friends when they were alive. And they told him, the elders in that town told him, that the Yavitz, before he died, prepared himself, and he said, Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz is suing me, taking me to Adin Torah. And since he said Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz, he didn't say Yonasan Eibshitz, they realized that he was already Moichelim, and therefore they decided to bury them together. He brings this from Mesefer Mekor Chaim, and there it says that the Noida B'Yehuda is the one who instructed the Chevek Kadisha to bury the Yavitz over there, because it was known to them that they made peace. What's interesting is that there's an article by Rabbi Goldstein that says, I was there. And there's actually 5 matzevis separating between Rabbi Yonasan and the Yavitz. So maybe at the point that they were buried, initially there were no matzevis there. But another very interesting fact, the Sefer Aleph Ksav, he writes that the Chassam Sofer was always makbid to make sure never to put the Pnei Yoshua, his Sefer Pnei Yoshua, with his Sefer Kesi Plesi or the Urim and Tumim. In other words, that the Pnei Yoshua should not be with one of the Sfarim of Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz, because they used to hate each other when they were around. But once, one of the Chassam Sofer Talmidim saw that suddenly the Chassam Sofer puts these two Sfarim together. And he said to him, Rebbe, what's going on today? You're always so makbid about this. So how come now we're putting them together on the shelf? And the Chassam Sofer told him that they revealed to him from Shamayim that these two Gedolim, these two geniuses already made peace between them. Fascinating. Sam Sofer gets informed from Shamayim about what goes on in him. That's not so surprising, but it is interesting. Emet Hashem, shadows like this should always be only la halacha and not lemaise, because we should always experience and exhibit ahavas Yisrael.